Hello and welcome to my channel. We are going to make some fodders today. Sketch some botanical on watercolor paper, and I'm going to paint it, dry it and add some ink with my Micron ink pens. This is number 101, and I also have a 005 and a 02. If I can get the right one. There we go. 005, 02 and 01. There we go. But first we are going to add the colors so that we have something to start with, and then we will make the lines and see if we can get these to look a bit nice in the botanical journal that I'm going to start. So today I'm going to use my Princeton Aqua Elite number 4, and I also have a bigger Aqua Elite number 8. They are both round. So let's start with the big one. I'm going to take a piece of paper so I can dry my brush off in between the colors. So we have some leaves, and I'm going to stick with green. So I'm adding just the color on the edges and leaving a little bit of white space here and there, just to make it a little bit more natural. Then I'm dabbing in some sap green. The first one was a blend of some colors I used yesterday when I did my snowdrop. So some sap green, and I add a little bit of black to that. I'm going to move this one over here so you can see a little better. And this is just to make it look more natural. A green leaf have often a lot of different colors if you look closely. Then I'm going to add water to the other one. Doing the same, trying to leave a little bit of white space here and there. That's my plan, at least. I'm doing the same on this one, adding in a bit of different colors, a bit with some black in and some pure sap green. But use what you like, and don't be afraid to play and experiment. It's just paper and watercolor, so have fun. I have made two, so if I want to make two journals, I have a set, or if I manage to do it totally wrong, I have a reserve. You never know. So I'm still struggling a bit with my medication. I'm getting tired from my new painkillers. So I'm not working very fast at the moment. But I will still try to accomplish something. It's both fun and good to have something to do. You can forget about the pain for a while. That's always a good thing. I'm sleeping bad at night too, so that's why I'm really tired daytime. So I'm sorry for being a bit off. But I hope that this will be over soon, so I can get back to my normal life. Then I'm just taking some plain water and splatter on when they have done a little bit of drying. This is probably too early, but we will try. Can go back in a little while and give it some more color, or actually some water, I meant. So leave those for now, and I'm going to just give this one the stem. The other stems and flowers are so thin, so I'm just going to add it with my micron first, at least. So I see where we Queen's Anne's lace is so really thin, she said, and added something anyway. I just needed to try. It actually worked with number 8. That's good to know. So let's go to the apple blossom. I think this is what I want it to be. So I'm going to do the same on this one. I'm adding some water to the leaves, or the petals, sorry. And also these are buds. Hope you can see that. And then I'm going for a light pink. And I think I want to have another color in it. And I'm going to take a bit darker color and add to the buds. Just dragging this color out a little bit more. Just with clean water. Putting down the brush and just soak up some water. It was a little bit too much there. Leave that to dry before we add in anything green. So splattering on a little bit more water. It is probably too dry now, but forgot about that. I haven't the best paper, so it's 100% cotton from Artway, but it still dries much faster than the expensive ones. So I have at least tried it, but I don't think I'm going to use it, at least not for some better paintings. So some more green. I have diluted it quite much so that we can paint it thin first and then maybe add something more. So I'm going to try to not put my arm in the paint. And when you do these, try to get movement in your botanicals. Kind of do the leaves from different angles. And if you are unsecure, you can find it everywhere on YouTube. How to make your leaves move or look like them, so you don't have a stem and just leaves peeking the same way. You can do it, but it's a little bit more boring. It makes such a big difference if you just can add some differences on the leaves. That's of course optional. See, this is already drying. I will probably get some pooling, but I'm adding a bit more water and see if this can stay wet until I can get some darker color in. That's also a bit why I add water first and then color with water in. It makes it a little bit more, get a little bit more time to work on them. it's still fodders, so we don't need to overdo it, but I like to have them a little bit realistic and let them have some life. Splatter in a little bit of water in them. Some professional is probably screaming if they are looking at this and say, "Don't touch it, it's drying." But I'm doing it anyway. Fiddling, shouldn't be doing that. So let's move on and give these leaves and petals some green color. Adding a little bit of green to the stem, but I'm actually going to right away take a little bit of brown and dab in. So it can move around in the wet green color. Like so. So now we are going to let this dry totally, and I will be back and we will do some scribbling with my ink pen, so we can have some beautiful fodders to put in the journals. So it's dry, and I have started a little bit because it takes such a time to do all of these small circles that I'm making. Also small circles in this one and lines on the leaves to make them look more like they have curved and movement in them. So the thing when you make Queen Anne's lace is that you kind of is thinking as a half circle, as this is the way the flowers is put on the stem. You have this kind of half circle on top of the flower. So when you add the small circles, starting by doing it in a half circle, that way you get the shape, and then you can add in some more. And again, I'm starting in a half circle and then add some more. Again, a half circle on the outer part of the leaf. Am I in frame? Like that. So you have that shape. And again, can't do it. Like that, half shape. And then you can add in more flowers. And then I'm just putting in some circles and kind of thinking that we have stems and flowers that will fill up this Queen Anne's lace. I think I want another one kind of facing against us. And try to take your time to do this. It makes so much difference if you actually put these small flowers and circles where they should be. And you can draw some lines if you think that is looking better. I think that's enough. So let's move to the leaves. I'm starting with the stem, and I'm filling it in the whole way on one side. The other side I'm just doing a couple of strokes here and there. Then I'm just kind of scribble around it. Not neat at all, and a couple of times, so it does. If you do it one time, it looks like you just haven't followed the line, but if you make 2 or 3 lines, it's more like a sketchy scribbling. And I do the same with the middle. I just kind of put a little line here and there so that it looks like we have a middle. And these leaves are kind of shaped like this, and then I need to follow the shape to make it look like it's rounded. And I'm doing long strokes and small strokes. And then I'm marking some holes. I'm not doing it on every white spot, just here and there. And you will decide how many of these lines you want. Sometimes it's nice to have them totally covered, but mostly I just do a few scribbly lines like this. It adds so much more to the leaf. And this one is facing this way, so I'm doing the same. I'm kind of scribbling around it so I get the shape a couple of times. And I'm doing a big hole there and the smaller on that side. Didn't leave so much white on that one. And this is rounded this way. So I'm doing the lines on both sides so they kind of show what way the leaf is going. If you're insecure, try and do it kind of beside you. You quickly can see if you do it the wrong way. If you do it like this, you can see that that isn't right. But if you do it like this, it feels much more, you can feel it almost in your body that this is looks like a fish bone, and it makes it feel a bit funny. So you can decide by doing these small lines which way your leaf is going. Scribbling down the stem. And decide which one that is overlapping the other one. And then I'm just making a little kind of circle down here so we get an end. Okay, the rose, the same thing here. We need some of these small circles on the rose too. We have this in the middle. And same way here, draw some lines so you can see which way the leaf is bending. And you can make it look a bit different depending on how you make your leaf have its petals. And I'm not doing this in a circle. I'm kind of doing it in clusters. If you know what I mean. So don't think it is like this and do them. It doesn't look natural. Do them in clusters and put them in different places. Even if it's small, it makes a big difference for the flower. And then scribbling around the petals a couple of times so we don't have one corky line. And some roundings of the buds like that. I forgot that on this one. Okay, and then we have the leaves. Decide which one is going behind and which leaf that is going to be on top. And scribble a couple of times. And you can do the same on this one. This leaf is facing towards us, then the lines is going to go down like this, and we are going to put the lines rounded out. You don't even need to do any veins on them if you don't like to. This is just fodder, so you don't need to think so much about that. This one we can see a little bit from the side, so I decide that I'm going to put the middle a little bit away from us. So then we need to shape it this way, and on the other side that way. So I have a lot of friends that say they can't draw, and one of them have horses, and I said to her, I can't ride a horse, and she said, of course you can. And then I said, yes, of course you can draw, you just need to learn as everything else. A football player needs to play football and learn rules and how to make goals the best way. And it's the same with drawing. You need to learn some rules to make it look better, like these lines, how you should bend them, and you need to try and see what's the best way. So I always tell my friends that don't say you can't draw, because that isn't true. Of course you can draw. They get a little bit angry at me, but then they realize that it might be like that you maybe... I couldn't draw when I was born, so I have had to learn, because I think it was something I wanted to learn. And I have done this for many years now, still learning kind of every time. Forget how I should do it, and then I draw a line and can see right away that, no, I did a mistake. I have forgot that rule. So the most important thing is to stop looking at tutorials and make the drawing yourself. You can't learn to draw by looking at tutorials and think that when you put down the pen you can draw. That's not the way, sorry. You need to work your way into drawing. So that was the the harsh words of the day. You can draw, but you need to practice, and it's never fun to practice if you are bad at something. But it gets better, I promise you that it will. So now we have some fodders to cut out and put into our journals as decorations. I hope you find this helpful, and if you have any questions or want me to show you something more, maybe do the sketches if you would like to see that. But you can go to any botanical book and draw with a thin paper. Just draw a line around the botanical and then use that as a picture that you can paint. So you don't need to be able to sketch to do these kind of things. You can take a picture like this, and then you take your pen, put that away, and do like this on the back. I think I have done this before and showed you, but I will do it anyway. And then you take a pen of some sort that are a little bit sturdy, and then you just draw the line on the rose or the leaf. I think I was putting and then you have your pattern on to the paper. It's a bit smudge on my table, but you can clearly see the lines if you just do like this. So use your pictures in magazines or in books and make fodders from them. You don't need to be able to draw if you don't like it and don't want it. Don't make it more complicated than you need to. So thank you so much for keeping me company for a little while. I have a couple of journals going on. So this was some I did to prepare for if someone wanted to have watercolor journals. But I never heard something, so now I'm going to use these covers to make journals instead. So they will be quite big this time. And I have already prepared, I think I'm up to 130 pages to put in the journals. So as you can see, I'm prepared to start, at least to put them together. So that's a good thing. Thank you, and as always, I will be back. And I had a question about the 100-day project today, and I have done pages, so I'm just haven't been able to do any recording. But I will do, and I will show you. So just hang in there and let me get my medication in order so that I have some new energy again. So we will do some more of these together, and I promise you that I will show you the pages. Okay, for the third time, thank you so much, and I see you soon again. Bye bye from Sweden.